Mic's up. We're still learning this stuff, people. We're still learning this stuff. How's it sound? Mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Good morning, good morning. How are you doing? Ooh, what's good, what's good? How's it sound? Check, 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 check. Mic check, good. A little loud, a little low, a little high. A little bit of everything. We're back for another opportunity to make some money here today. All right. We got some big news today as well. Take Profit Trader. Take Profit Trader is running a new deal right now, 50% off. No more daily loss limit. They got rid of the daily loss limit on the evals. So it used to be like 3,000 daily loss limit for the 150K account. Well, now there's no more daily loss limit. It seems to be the trend right now. So, well, that's the trend. Everybody getting rid of the daily loss limits. I see people talking about the Tradevate problems. Tradevate. So basically, it sounds like Tradevate is going to be doing some stuff this week, launching or kind of setting up a new way for prop firms to use Tradevate. Not exactly sure how it's all going to work out, but was at work on Friday. Can you get Apex to offer 90% off again today? Unfortunately, I cannot. I wish. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Just be able to give away free money all the time over here. But luckily, we've got 10. That's right. We got 10 Take Profit accounts today to give away. So you know what that means. We got some giveaways. We got some fun. Today, looking at the 15-minute chart here on the NASDAQ. All right, 15-minute chart. What do we got? This 800 pivot point. 20,800. If we lose this, well, moving on down real quick. Apex. If you're trading on Tradevate with Apex, it sounds like there's an issue with Tradevate today, so they're working on it. It's not a it's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me. We're back for another day of trading in the BDH. A little bit more focused today. We do have a special guest coming in around 10:30 today. CEO, owner of Optimus Futures, a real futures prop firm. He's going to come in and talk about Optimus Futures, what it's like. He's been in the futures game for the last, I think, 20 years or so. So we'll get a little insight from him today about the futures market and what's going on and all that fun stuff. So here we are. We're back. What do we got for news today? We got any news today? Checking out the onlypropfirms.com news calendar here. Economic calendar. We got looks like, what is that? 10 o'clock news, like a 1-star 10 o'clock news, and then a 2-star 11 o'clock news. So nothing really out of the ordinary. Nothing out of the ordinary. Where's Victoria? I think she's working, hopefully. Hopefully she's working. Hopefully. How's the lag today? It should be there should be like no delay today. Where are we at? Let me know. If you look down below right now, 9:08:43. What's the when am I going to invite ICT? I don't know. I don't think he's going to come. 1.9 seconds in Portugal. Wow. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 4 seconds in Alabama. All right, all right. So today, like I said, take profit trader. It's 50% off. We're giving away 10. I mean, 10 take profit trader accounts today, 50K evaluations. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We got some more fun, some more action coming up. I got these fucking TVs, man, and these fucking TVs, they go on, they go, oh God, now I just turned my monitor off. Fucking fuck. What a bad idea this was. Look how many fucking remotes I have. 1, 2, 4, fucking, I got this many remotes. I can't even hold them all. What do? I don't understand. Like, and the problem is all the remotes like work for the same TVs. I don't know what to do, man. My life, oh, I see. It's like if I want to turn this TV on, then the TV over there turns off. It's a scam. I don't know what to do. More remotes than ICT's profitable weeks. Well, I mean, you only need one to have more than that. Try and turn this day up. Now the TV won't even respond. It turned on, but now it won't even work. The one over there is working. How is that possible? Fuck my life. I need an IT person. Anybody want to be my new IT person? I can't pay you a lot, but like you could hang out and have free death water all you want. Apex is not going under. Everybody in the chat talking about this is how Apex is going to go under. They're not going under. Relax. Tradeovate has some really big news coming out this week. A lot of stuff's going to be changing with Tradeovate this week for every prop firm. So it's not just Apex. Relax. We've seen how much money they make. They make $10 to $15 million a week. So, I mean, a month. They ain't going out of business. They're making too much money. They're making too much money, man. I don't know exactly what the situation is. I just heard that basically the rumor is that NinjaTrader and Take Profit, well, no, NinjaTrader and Tradeovate, they're trying to go public. So they're trying to work on their numbers, basically. They want to do an IPO. NinjaTrader, Tradeovate IPO, and they want to change some stuff. So that's just the news right now. All right, right now, the 15-minute chart got this big kind of bear flag playing out right now. We're getting stuck below that VWAP there. We've got 18 minutes here till market opens. You got the 21 EMA, you got the VWAP there, that yellow line we're watching, and just getting ready to go. It's getting ready to go. And today, I'll be trading some take profit accounts today. They're currently 50% off with no daily loss limit. So I like it. I like it a lot. What is the sound? Oh, God. These damn microphones, man. These microphones. I bought all this new like equipment and all this new technology. Motion Capital. Go fuck yourself. Come in here and use your... They ain't nobody using your code. Why would anybody want to use your code? It's 3 letters. Mine's only 2 letters. Think about that. Think about that, bro. You're losing. You have 3 letters in your coupon code. I only have 2. Did I fire the traders? Yeah, Emilio, I fired him. He talked too much. He's got to go. No more Emilio. No, Emilio's, I guess he's traveling or some shit. But we got some other traders that I'm talking to right now about coming in here. You guys were really mad last week. Everybody was like really upset with Emilio. I felt bad for the guy. Everybody was like, "Tell him to shut up." Literally, my executive assistant had to write a little letter, a little note for him, tell him like, "Hey, the chat don't like you. Why y'all so mean? Why is the chat so mean?" He just wanted to come in here and have some fun. Well, before we start the day here, let's read a little excerpt from the book real quick. Just one little paragraph. Let me just see what we got here. Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. Action steps, risk management action steps. All right. First things first, Clean up your charts. Strip away all those useless indicators and focus on price action, volume, and key levels. Less is more, people. Study the VWAP. Practice patience. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. The all-new funded futures. You get a free copy download when you buy the course for only $1.99. It's pretty much like it's like a free book, but it's like $1.99 kind of. Ooh. All right, everybody in the chat. Yes, there is issues today with Tradeovate on Apex. It's not personal. It's just business. If you guys haven't already hit that like button, help me blow it up. We got a little bit of time here till the market opens up. And like I said, later on today, we'll have Matt Zimberg here from Optimus Futures. Woo! Check this out. Can you see my new screen now? Look at the new screen there. I got a big old screen. Look how big that bitch is. The candlesticks are like, a foot. Every candlestick's 1 foot. Look at that thing. You can't even see it. Oh my God, it's huge. Look how big. Look how big it is. That's the biggest screen I ever seen. Big screens. Big screens, big profits. That's right. Oh man, look, I can't even, I just look at it. I just like look at it. Just be like looking at it over here. Look at that thing. BDH is a little bit quieter today. We got a little less people in here today. We're focused on making some money on the business. The business right now, the NASDAQ. Oh, I think that one froze. Back door still working. Back door working. Front door working. Everybody ready to party. To party. To party. Like I said, I'm gonna be trading today some take profit accounts. Take profit accounts here. Get the best deals always at onlyprofitfirms.com. And again, like I said, we will be doing the giveaway today here. Doing a giveaway, 10 accounts. We got 10 accounts to give away live from the BDH. So if this is your first time watching, I don't know where the fuck you were at last Friday, but I'm very upset with you. Don't talk to me today. But if this is your second time watching, congratulations. You're one of the real ones. You one of the real ones, baby. Did you guys see my big cock? Who saw my big cock over the weekend? Anybody? In the chat? Where are you at, chat? You guys see the big cock I put my big cock up on the wall. Look at this thing. That's a big old cock. He's like 12 feet tall. BDH, baby. Little cutie pie. That's just a big old rooster. BDH headquarters right there. If you're ever driving down North Dixie Highway in Pompano, you see the big cock. You know whose building that is. All right, all right. Stay focused here, people. Stay focused. Try to make some money today, right? Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. What does BDH stand for? BDH can stand for whatever you want it to stand for, you know? I already told you guys exactly what it stands for, but just let it be whatever you want, you know? It's the Big Dick Headquarters. Big Dick House, Big Dick Headquarters, whatever you want to call it. Somebody said they missed the old PW hair. Well, guess what? If you keep watching the live stream for the next 6 months, maybe a year, it's going to grow back and you'll be happy again. So don't stop watching it. It's like a chia pet. Before you know it, it'll just start growing. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? I said cock. What are you thinking, chat? Where are we going, chat? Up or down here at open? I don't know. Looking like a bear flag right now. Overnight, we sold down pretty hard through that 21,000 level. 21,000 pulling back here. Our next kind of key level is down here, 20,680-700 area on the chart. And then after that, 20,300 from there. So will the bulls come to play. Are the Bears going to get fed today? Are the Bears going to get fed? We're going to find out. Pump and then the dump. Dump and then the pump. Pumpity pumpity bump. Dumpity bum bum pump. All-time high today. Exactly. Yes. No, definitely going all-time high today. 1,000 point move straight up. I had to get me some water. Some of that water. Some of that water. It's some water. Patrick, what wisdom do you have for us today? Well, let me think. What do I got today? Oh, well, there's an old saying. If there's a bigger cock in the field, don't go in that field. Just let that rooster do his thing. You know, don't fight the big rooster. Because a big rooster, he got big for a reason, because he fought all the little roosters on the way. So if you're not the biggest rooster around, don't go looking to fight other roosters. What if this was just a beer? What if I was to open up a bear here? Give me a bear. So the way I look at it right now is like, if we get below this 760 area, kind of where this candle closed at earlier on the hourly chart, then we kind of right down here into the overnight low, the London low, 692 now. Yeah, the delay should be like, there should be like very little delay today. I apologize on Friday. I don't know what happened, but for some reason, my computer went crazy. Everybody in the chat asking about Trade-Evate with Apex. It is a known issue. It's not you. It's not me. It's not Apex. It's Trade-Evate. Trade-Evate's having some issues. They're working on it. They're going to get it back up. It's not personal. Apex is not going out of business. Just let them do their thing, I guess. 2-second delay. Holy shit, this guy's gonna make too much money. I gotta bump up the delay. Can't have 2-second delay. There was a guy all the way in Portugal. He said he had a 1-second delay. That was pretty. He must have really fast internet. Think about that. How crazy is that? That my live stream could go from Florida to Portugal in less than 1 second. That's like fucking mind blowing, man. That's mind blowing. 2-second delay in Costa Rica, 2-second delay in Australia. Holy shit. Australia is even further away than Portugal. Just a little bit. It is honestly though, you got to think that is absolutely insane to think that so we got kind of like right now the 1 minute chart, little mini bull bear flag going into open here. You can see kind of like a little mini bear flag playing out here. If we get like below this 70 level, there's that 728 down there. And like I said, today we'll have Matt Zimberg here from Optimus Futures. Make sure you stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good time. He's been a broker, an IB, running a actual real brokerage, futures brokerage for the last, I think, like 20 years. He's going to be breaking down some just some knowledge of the business, and then also talking about all the thousands of traders that he's seen come and go, some of the success, some of the ups, the downs, telling the story. Do you think the news later today could have a big effect on the market? What's the news later today? Which news? Ranny Samak said that he purchased the course, did a back test for the last 6 months, watching your videos, and my level improved in a way that he could not believe. Wow. Talk about a glowing review right there. Hey, I didn't tell him to write that. I didn't tell him to write that. He wrote it himself. He wrote it himself. Well, I hope the NASDAQ doesn't just go straight down here at open. Oh, God. It's possible, actually. It could just go straight to the fucking bottom here. Oh, God. We got less than 5 minutes here. Less than 5 minutes. We got 10 take profit accounts to give away. If we get 500 likes here on the stream, I'll do one giveaway. And we'll just keep it going. We got the first giveaway coming up here for Take Profit Trader 50K account. There's a link there in the chat. Link in the chat to enter the giveaway. Let's go. We got 10 50K take profit accounts ready to go here, baby. Win big with Patrick Wieland. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. I can't wait to have the racing simulator over there. You guys see my new, can you guys see the monitor? How big that fucking, I gotta get a new, I want to get like a fisheye camera, like right at the back of my head. Just films the back of my head the whole time. And you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at. It really blow your mind because you'd be like, what is he actually looking at? What is this guy doing over here? What are the ladies doing? They're working, handling business. That's the dream team over there. The BDH ladies. Business, baby. That's the new 55-inch ARC Samsung monitor. I have, so my new simulator as well, my new driving simulator, racing simulator, whatever you want to call it. It's got 3 of the 55-inch monitors that like wrap around you. They're fucking massive, man. It's going to be whoo-wee crazy. The monitor will give you neck problems. Oh, it's going to give, hey, I'm just like this. I look at it like this. This is how I trade. When I'm looking at the chart, I just go, ah. He just gotta love it, you know? You just gotta love it right there. All right, all right. I don't know, man. Is this too, you know, like, is this too obvious? Like, is this move just like too obvious right here? Is only prop firms down? Are you fucking kidding me? No way. Dude, only, what the fuck? Is it down? These motherfuckers, like, why do I pay for people to do shit when they can't even make the website work? Every time we do a giveaway, we fucking crash the website. Classic. Fucking classic. All right, so the first winner, by the way, is Alejandro Pons. Alejandro Pons is the first winner of the Take Profit account. We got 9 more to give away. Make sure you stay tuned. The longer you watch, the more chance of winning, by the way. Alejandro, are you in the chat? Let me know. Say, A, it's me, we. CCC. Alejandro. What's that song with, was that Madonna? Does she sing a song about Alejandro? What? I feel like there's a song about Alejandro. Alejandro. All right, we're getting close to the fucking open here, boys. We're watching to see, will the Bears come into play? Will they come into play here? It's live. We're doing it from the BDH day 2. Let's make some motherfucking money. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh God. Oh God. All right, testing that 60 area right here now. Testing 60s. Below 60, you got that 730 area down there to look at. We break this 60 level and then try to move down to 720, the overnight low down there as well. Let's see how she plays. Back up here into that 21 EMA for now, testing that resistance there. Perfect little trap to send this downtown, baby. There, look at that. The perfect little trappy trap. Lose this 60s right into the 30s next. The website is back up, by the way. This wants to go lower. Everything's telling me lower, but let's see what happens here. They're going to fight that 60 area now. Just kind of chopping around here. We lose this 60 area. This next level is right into here. Market's holding on for now. Getting denied there once again. Through the 60s now. Take me on downtown. Ooh. The chop is real. She wants to get there. And the chop here, just holding it up at the 60s for now. 760s. That 21 EMA on the 1 minute chart right there at the 70s, kind of holding it down for now, but need a very bearish candle just to take out these wicks really quickly through the 50s here. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Bring me on down there into the 40s now. Ooh, buddy. Take me to the moon. Oh, still chopping around 50s. ES is kind of holding on right now there at the pivot point. I just don't see how the NASDAQ won't try to get down there through that 700 level just to tap that London low, you know? The London low. Oh, buddy. There we go. Into the 30s now. Into the 30s here now. Ooh. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? All right, these woo. Look at that, boys. Come on. Still going lower. If you guys haven't hit that like button, help me out. We'll blow up the like button here. Got 1,000 likes. We'll give more giveaways. We got 9 more accounts to give away here today. First trade of the day. Very profitable here. Shorted 73s. Now down there into the 720s. Took profit a little early, obviously, but hey, I'll take it. I think that overnight low just has to get tapped here. There we go. She wants it. She wants it. Tell me she don't want it, boys. There's your 15-minute bear flag playing out like we said. If you want to win an account, we'll go ahead and just blow up that like button. We can do it together here. 700s. Once the ES cracks here, then it's real trouble for everybody. NASDAQ into the 720s now. That London low, the London low is 697 down there, boys and girls. 697. I'd be very surprised if we don't get there at some point here today. If you're on Trade of 8 with Apex, they are having issues with Apex Trade of 8 today. It's not personal. It's just kind of how it goes sometimes. A little bit of a front run off of that 700 level for now on the NASDAQ. but I think she'll still want to take it. ES is looking like it wants to take a new low or get through the overnight low here. Need that ES to give it up here and take us on down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, right through 700s here next. Slice it like a knife through the butter. Hot knife through butter here, NASDAQ. Right through 700. Just do. Hey, the man, the myth, the legend. He's here early. I like it. On time, baby. All right, looking for the 700 break, boys. Let's get it right through there. Woo! Such a beautiful move here. Such a beautiful move. Low on that candle, 702. We're locking in some profit here as we go. Short there, 55 earlier. Shorted again, 24s. Locking in some there at 705. Up $5,000 there in those accounts. And then in these take profit accounts, also up 4,000 times 3. So pretty good there as well. So exactly the knife through the butter sound. I think it's still a 1,700 break. It has not taken out the overnight low just yet. And if you're wondering, Patrick, why do you think it's good? Look, it's too perfect sometimes. The low on that candle right there, 694 was what we were looking for to take out. The low on this candle, 702. Now it's going to be just little dookie duke. Little dookie duke. Holy shit, look at that rip. Oh God, NASDAQ. Oh God. Oh God. Fuck it. Oh. What is that? What just happened? Everyone just got stopped out. ICT. Fuck. Bro, take off that Rolex. No, I like the Rolex. I leave it on so that way I remember it's real, you know? Like I put the money on my wrist. So it's like the money that I take from trading, I put it into a real object. I put it on my wrist. So, oh my. Oh my. That's a 60-point move. What in the fuck? Holy shit. Oh God. I don't want to say I covered right at the bottom, but I mean, I covered 705 there. Wowzers. Well, that's crazy. All right, all right. Welcome to the NASDAQ, baby. Jacob The winners for the take profit accounts are coming. Just stay tuned. Once we get 1,000 likes here, we'll do the second giveaway, and we got 8 more accounts to give away. Where's Victoria? She's at work, or I don't know what she's doing something. She's doing something here. Other news, we've got our special guest for the day walking in the building here. We're gonna put him on the computer here in a couple minutes, and we'll talk shop. Talking shop over here. What's going on? I like those boots. I should have worn my boots. You're gonna be right here, man. Huh? You'll be right here. Right here? Yeah, right here. You got your camera there. Okay. You'll see your face pop up there. Just talking right there. Okay. And
you will be asking.
I'll be over here talking to you.
Okay. So
don't look at me.
Okay, but I'm just facing.
Yeah, look at that camera.
Okay. So good looking. I don't know if I can.
Don't look at me. Yeah, don't look at. It makes me nervous if people look at me when I talk to them. I can't talk to them.
Once in a while, I'll have to.
All right, NASDAQ back up here, 780s, 750s again. What a wild ride this is. Did something happen? Like, I feel like there wasn't any news. The chat is sometimes just undefeated. Someone wrote, I Hulk ate Viagra. Well, hey, whatever gets you hard, you know, it's up to you. I don't judge anybody, what you do with your own personal time. You see my big rooster? That's a big rooster. There was a big rooster on the wall. All right. Now NASDAQ's going to come on back down here again. That was just a dirty candle there, that 15-minute candle. Now we've got our 15-minute opening range, obviously. Just a dirty candle right there, just playing games. Too many people looking for that break there, and then just right on back down. What we got? We got 1,000 likes. All right, the next winner. Let's find out here. I'm texting my website assistant. Here he comes. He's coming through. Casey Strickland. Casey Strickland, you are the winner. Another 50K account. We got your email. We'll send you a thing. So how do you win? You got to go and leave a comment, or you got to go this website right here. People are always so confused. How do I enter? What do I do? Right there. Look at that. Casey Strickland, actual real person in the chat. Gotta love to see it. And she's a female. Not that it matters, but it's good to see that we got some females in the chat, and they're winning as well. I think the chat might be getting more and more women in their chat. You know, I'm just saying. Just putting it out there. We got a lot of roosters in the hen house, or the hens in the rooster house. All right, so well, NASDAQ just is refusing to go lower here. Absolutely refusing to go lower. So I guess we'll just wait to see what happens with this 15-minute range breakout. Female and just took a winning trade. Thanks, Pat. Damn. Look at that. Queen mommy long legs. I wonder if mommy long legs actually has long legs. How long are your legs? For you to put that in your username, you must have, you know, abnormally just long legs. Bro, I'm struggling with patience. Please help me. Well, if you're struggling with patience, probably the best thing to do right now is to use Trade-Evate with Apex, because you can't actually trade. So that would force you to be patient. Here we go. Holy crap. We got the 15-minute range breakout. I don't know. Do I take a long through this 780 area? We rip up through the 800s. We got this pivot point right there, 803 VWAP right there. Is it a trap? I just feel like this is looking a little trappy. Looking a little trappy here, man. Queen mommy, long legs, 6 feet tall. Holy shit. Amazon woman. But you know, your legs could be short and your torso could be long. So how do we know? We're never gonna know. How big is your feet? Oh God. You're gonna turn into a foot fetish chat. So right now the 15-minute range still holding here, obviously stuck inside the 15-minute range. So don't get too excited just yet. Patience, my friends. Nothing wrong with being patient here, waiting for the right opportunities. If you guys haven't already hit that like button, we got a bunch more accounts to go, and we've also got a special guest coming here with more experience in the futures market than probably than I've been alive. I think he's one of the OGs back in the day. Just back in there, just when they had they used the what are those things called? The ibis. The little, you know, like abacus. Yeah. Abacus back in the day. Using the abacus. Oh, you want to get long on the NASDAQ? Let me move it over. Yeah, Matt was using the abacus.
You used an abacus.
Yeah, the abacus on the floor of the CME. I should invite Rips. I don't know if he's going to come if I invited him. All right, so the way I look at this is if we get above that 80 area, I don't see how we don't just like do some stupid little squeeze up above 800. It might be a trap, but it's kind of the play there above 780s. It's just a very, very trappy looking spot. Have I asked TBM to come on yet? Not yet. You want to jump in? You ready? Fire it up. Take a seat, sir. Let me see. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There he is.
All right.
So
So a look over here.
yeah, look right there. There's
Okay.
your face. Look at you.
I don't know about that, but all
So,
right.
yeah. Tell us who you are.
I'm the CEO of Optimus Futures. Good to be here, guys. So check out our site at optimusfutures.com. And since I'm a licensed broker, I'm going to start with a disclaimer that there's a substantial risk of loss in futures trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and please trade only with risk capital. So I'd love to help you guys out. If you guys any questions, whether you're a beginner or you're a pro at this or anything like that, I'd love to help you. You know, Pat will redirect the questions to me.
Yeah.
So I'd love to help you, each one of you. That's it, you know, so it's working.
Yeah. That'll make you look as good as possible.
That's hard. That's
make you look good as
that's a
possible
challenge.
All right, so Matt, tell us how you got your start.
Well, my start was close to 30 years ago. Started out as a broker, became a branch manager, became a risk manager, dealt with every single thing out there that's related to futures, and at some point decided, like every businessman, okay, time to open shop, and you know, established Optimus Futures. So we've been around for a long time. Started out, obviously, you know, back in the day, we did broker-assisted, phone execution, things like that. We did a lot of automation, and now we do what most brokers do, which is online trading. So that's what we specialize in. We have our own platform, our own white label platforms. We offer all the connections possible, and we're here to help everyone. So it's a good thing.
Awesome. Right now, NASDAQ breaking out of that 780 area, kind of like we thought it would, straight through the 800s. There's that trap to the upside. Kind of, you got to think they're like wanting to basically get above that whole number there at the 800s, right? Just straight up there, that pivot point, 800, straight up, ding, ding, ding. And there's your breakout through the 80s. Matt, have you, so you've been a broker. Have you, I think we talked about it before, but have you been a trader throughout your career, or have you mostly focused on the broker side?
I mostly focused on the brokerage side, but I have been a trader. I haven't been one in a long time because the operation grew to a size that I cannot dedicate any time to trading. I have staff, customers. We have thousands of customers that we service. So today, most of the focus goes towards servicing customers. We don't advertise much, but it seems like people find their way to us. And I'm building better and better systems to try and accommodate them and help them out. It's a learning experience. The more customers come in, there's different needs. So we're learning what the industry needs, and we try to accommodate it as fast as possible.
Little quick update here. NASDAQ up there right to the VWAP, just kind of like we said it would. It was a perfect setup for a trap. Even if this thing does pull back from here, it's kind of, you're thinking, if I'm short, where am I looking to get stopped out? Well, I don't want it above 800. And well, look at the market ripping up there about 20 points through that 800 level. So that whole number getting taken out, and it would be kind of funny now if they just rip it on back down. But that was kind of the trap. We had the 15-minute range breakout there. 15-minute range, that 784 was the high of that 944 candle. We broke out there. You got about 40 points to the upside up there to the 825. So that absolutely worked out beautifully. The 15-minute range, you gotta love it. Matt, what do you think of all the strategies out there? Which one's the best?
That's a trick question, of course.
Well, I knew you'd have a good answer for it.
But I would tell you, build a strategy that matches your nature. If you are, I would say you have to minimize on your trades. That's the first thing I would do to anybody out there. But you also have to realize the kind of person you are. Some people are extremely analytical and they build Excel spreadsheets. Some people are not, and they can use simple moving averages and support resistance. So there is no best. I think, this is the one question that most traders ask all the time, what is the best? But usually it comes from beginner traders. And over time, they learn that they just have to fit a system that fits their nature. The risk management that fits their nature, a methodology that they understand that fits their nature. Don't try to imitate somebody else's nature. That's what I say. Don't try to imitate somebody else's method. Build your own. There is no such thing as the best.
So everybody shouldn't just try to get a big rooster on the side of their building and try to be
Everybody
PW?
should have a rooster like you. That's a must. Then they know where they're at. But here's one thing I would tell you that I would do that I think is common to all the traders. So before you even begin trading live money, I would learn not anything related to trading, but more related to psychology. You have to learn all the psychological issues the traders will face once they start trading. Like for example, I'll just throw an example out there, confirmation bias, right? You see what you want to see. You come in the morning, you think the market is going up, you've made up your mind, and you look for all the things out there that confirm your opinion, right? Instead of being objective. Other things could be, for example, another psychological issue is, it's not me who calls it, it's called the sunk cost fallacy. So for example, I lost 500, I might as well lose 1,000, but I'm gonna try and recover, right? So every time, I think that part of good trading is being very, very conscious. And every time you catch yourself that you're doing something not related to the market, but rather psychological, that's where you have to stop and say, okay. So again, I think one thing that would help all the traders, if you're looking for best strategy, is to be very self-conscious of what goes on in your head during trading. And sometimes you can stop yourself like that, right? Once you become more conscious, you become a lot less impulsive, I would say. That would help traders.
And that is the most true statement there is, that people think that it's you versus the market, but really it's you versus yourself. The market it doesn't care if you go long or if you go short. It just cares, it has no feelings, where people think it's like a personal thing, or like, oh, the market's trying to fuck me over. It's like, well, no, it's you. You press the button, not the market.
That's exactly right. Once you take responsibility, then you start obviously becoming, in my opinion, somebody who could potentially become a better trader. One thing I would do is quantify, right? So in our operation, one thing we give traders is a journal. It's a simple journal. You rank your trades, you see your P&Ls and everything else, but what a journal allows you to see is really a pattern. Like, for example, you can start noticing pattern that you're a better trader between 10 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or between 10 and 11. Every trade you take after 3 o'clock might be because of fatigue. You're starting to lose money. So a journal allows you to really track where you're good at. And if you're using different methods, it will tell you what method worked at the time. And the process of journaling is an ongoing process. You will never get to a point. And that's one thing I really want to break this myth out there, that some amateurs have this idea that there's somebody out there knows the market. Like, he can get up in the morning and knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
Wait, whoa. I mean, I woke up this morning, I knew it was going to happen.
You're an exception.
No, I'm kidding.
Of course.
Nobody knows. I just trade what I see. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Instead of trying to predict, you look for setups, you trade it, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then it's part of the strategy.
It's exactly right. You come objective in the morning, and the process of improving yourself as a trader is an ongoing process. So you'll never get up in the morning. And I mean, if somebody gets up in the morning and says, I know the markets, that's the most arrogant statement he could say. And usually it's not going to be a good trading day. So every day you just see, like Patrick said, you see what you see in the market, you trade what you see, you journal your trades, you review them at the end of the day. Now, another psychological trick that I really, truly believe in is that people who had a good day should write more during their day about their trading than losing days. I believe this could potentially help you become a better trader, where you basically reinforce to your brain a good behavior. People do quite the opposite. You know, they have amazing days, and then they close the computer at the end of the day, and they go and they just sit on the couch eating.
Buy a new Rolex. Come on. What are you talking about?
Right.
Hey.
A Rolex, or they just sit on the couch afterwards and said, what a great day, right? That's the day that you have to go and make the most amount of effort to write down. I'm not saying you shouldn't do anything on losing days. You should write down on losing days as well, things that you can improve, but I would write less. Again, your brain does not know the difference between good and bad, but you have to train your brain to be disciplined and reinforce good behavior. And that's where a journal helps you a lot. So whatever method you use to journal, you know, just anything that you could do. And now with the advent of ChatGPT, you can take all your trades and everything else, download it, right? Put it in ChatGPT and say, what are your observations on this, right? Or maybe you have visual, you know, or maybe you can observe it yourself. Again, the goal is to become a better and better trader by being disciplined, by applying things that are external to trading. So I hope those tips help you.
Awesome. Let's get a little update here on the markets. We got the NASDAQ pulling back here, testing that 15-minute range, opening range here. We pulled back into that 21 EMA. I'm kind of watching to see if we can get back above the 800s here for a possible kind of bull flag setup. This is kind of a weird spot as well, sitting there right at the overnight high right now. So overnight high is going to be here at the 844s, and just kind of got the VWAP right there, got the 21. So it's like, I would like to see price action stay above VWAP for a continuation if we're going to push up here above this overnight high here at the 843s. We pushed right up there earlier to 841. Bit of a up and down roller coaster ride currently, but let's see what happens. It would almost be kind of comical if now they bring it on back down below 800 and then take out that overnight low now that they popped it up there, grab some liquidity and got the market all excited. But the best thing right now is definitely just to wait to see, you know, where we're at. We're at this kind of range, the overnight range. So knowing that and looking at the charts, I'm like, hey, nothing wrong with being patient and waiting for that right setup. You know, it's funny, Matt. I think a lot of times what you were talking about, the journaling thing, right? It's easy to have like a green day and then just walk away and be like, oh, awesome, I had a green day. But it's hard to have a red day, right? I'm sure you've experienced this where traders, you know, they might make $500 consistently for a week and they're excited, they're happy, it's a great day. And then the following Monday, they lose $10,000.
Yeah, so usually what I've seen, and of course it doesn't apply to everyone, but I've seen the biggest losses occur after the biggest wins. There's something in our nature. Now, I just want to state something here, that, you know, everything that I'm saying is to help people, and there's things that are engraved in our DNA. So this is not an attack on anybody that it happened to. I don't want to come and say that because it happened to you, you know, you're not right or anything like that. It's usually things, again, it's in our DNA. But what I've seen, again, that the biggest losses occur after the biggest wins, because there's a certain level of arrogance that where people have, where they say, I got this, I understand how the markets work and everything else. And then when they start losing a little bit, they're like, I got to make it back, because they remember all their wins that they made, and that's where it turns into a disaster. So, you know, trading in itself is really, you know, it's a byproduct. Remember, trading is a byproduct of everything else that you're doing. It's a byproduct of risk management, is a byproduct of your control of your emotions. It's a byproduct of how you observe things. It's a byproduct of your methodology. Combine all that together equals trading. So remember, trading, in my opinion, again, and I respect anybody who has a different opinion, obviously, but trading to me is a byproduct. So what you want to do is always review the process that you go through throughout your day to get to trading.
You could not have said it any better, my friend. So we have this little bull flag breakout. I am long, looking for a push up here through the 820. Nice. Let's see. That 800 level, trying to push through the VWAP there. All right, so we got the VWAP to push through. I'll look to take profit here, like 830s or so, just to lock it in on this little push up, just to get my trades in for the day here on Take Profit Trader. Oh, almost getting filled. Almost. Can you take me? There we go. That bull flag played out absolutely beautiful. That's what I love, Matt. For me personally, I trade momentum, and I try to keep it as simple as possible. Kind of like you said earlier about not knowing which way the market's going to go. But the one thing that we do know is we can look and see, like, hey, the market's making lower highs, the market's making higher lows. Like, that's not me interpreting. It's not me predicting where the market's going to go. It's me interpreting where the price action is currently at and kind of the overall structure. Obviously, there is no strategy that's 100%, but I do think, you know, just trading with the market, not trying to predict when it's going to pull back, when it's going to pop, when it's going to drop, that's when you're really in the driver's seat. And now look at this trade. Oh, Lord, I took my profit too early. Up there now into the 48s, locking it in. So that was a beautiful little bull flag there. Matt, tell people out there, because a lot of people, you know, right now are very like wired into the whole prop firm space. You know, you don't deal with prop firms. You deal with real money accounts. People come to you and they open accounts. And it's funny too, because a lot of people don't understand that futures really at the end of the day are built for hedging. I know one of the largest parts of your business is the agriculture side.
Right.
Working with actual farmers. Like what? And then, you know, most people on the internet, they have no idea that people actually like trade futures based on their, you know, farm. Right. How does that work?
So before I do, you know, there was a Ben here asked the question. I want to answer it. He actually asked a very good question, and you know, what other observations are made about good traders that I've seen over the years. I think one of the challenges, Ben, and I'm going to get to Patrick's question in a second. So one of the challenges, you know, in trading is to consistently trade your method when things are not resulting well. So you lose, and you have to keep on consistently using the same method. And what I've seen amongst good traders is that they have the ability to continue despite losing trades, because the amateur traders focus on every single trade. In reality, you have to focus on 100 trades and see what 100 trades, 500 trades, 1,000 trades, where they led you. You can't get depressed over one trade. You can't get depressed over 5 trades, even if they were losing trades. So some of the good traders, they have the ability to continue trading. Majority of the time, what I see, well, I shouldn't say majority, but I've also seen situations with beginner traders where they'll go through 3 trades that were not successful, and they're like, I did everything that the method told me, and it didn't result in success. Leads me to Patrick's question to tell you guys, there's a lot of players in the market. There are importers and exporters. There's agriculture. There are hedge funds. There's HFT guys. There's everything on the planet participating in this markets. So the minute you place your trades, there's also other actors. And although you did everything right according to your method, you know, they might stand in your way because they did the opposite, and they might have done the opposite with a larger quantity. But it doesn't mean that your method is bad. I don't know your method. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I'm just saying, you know, don't get discouraged, you know, when things don't work out once in a while. It's expected. If you look at the space of commodity trading advisors, for example, the ones who've been very successful for a long time or have a track record of 5 years, 10 years, if you go through their track record monthly, you will see that there's a lot of ups and downs. During certain months, they're down, certain months, they're up. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to Patrick's question. Yes, you know, the futures market originally was created for hedgers. It was agricultural hedgers, and they do corn, wheat, and everything else. And this is why the market...
When did the NASDAQ start to, like, trade the big contracts? Because it wasn't until later, right?
Oh,
Obviously, yeah.
The agricultural contract started around 1848. NASDAQ and Dow Jones and E-mini, I think came somewhere, could be around the 70s.
Yeah.
Or something that NASDAQ would have been later. I don't remember, but it was obviously... Way later. Currency came in the early 80s and everything else. One thing that I would like to also mention, because we're talking about institutionals and retail and everything else, guys, realize one thing. Futures trading, where it's different as an asset class, that it has leverage. And leverage messes with your psychology. It's true. Leverage messes with your psychology. So, in my opinion, you have to find the... Now, I had this debate, before I'm going to say it, I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of people who could potentially debate this, but I really believe in it. I think if you trade the right size that matches your nature, you could potentially have a better chance of becoming a good trader. If you're trading size outside of your risk tolerance, I do not believe that you will be successful, because size affects everything. It affects your psychology, it affects the methodology, it affects everything. It will cause hesitations or not. So start small. You know, you have the micro contracts. Start small, add to it slowly. One of the things that a lot of amateurs ask brokers nowadays is like, what's your commission? What's your leverage? What's your day trading leverage? Because they want to gear up as much as possible.
Are you afraid of a new customer? The first thing they ask, like, hey, how much leverage do I get?
Everybody asks that. It's just become a thing in the industry. That's what brokers...
Hi, I've got $250 and I would like max leverage, sir.
Yes. Well, and this is where, you know, we have competition, obviously, in the space, and I have very good competitors that I respect, and that's what they advertise, so we have to compete in that space. However, so we offer low day trading margins, but if I have a chance to talk to a trader, I tell him at Optimus Futures, I don't have any expectations for the number of trades or how frequently you trade. Trade as frequently as you want. Trade the leverage that is right for you. If you're going in day one with $500 and you want to trade 10 MES or 10 MNQ, sometimes it's not the best choice. Start with 2 or 1, slowly add gradually. Let your body develop and your psychology develop this, what I call immunity, if there's such thing, right? Again, with that size. And if it's not the right size, go back. You really have to determine what is the right size for you and what dictates your psychology. Everybody on the planet, everybody is born with a different risk tolerance. So trade what's in your risk tolerance. Look, you might run into a wall at some point, right? Where you say, my God, I cannot trade more than 5 micros. Every time I go to 6, I lose. Accept it. Accept it as a fact. Don't fight it. You know what? It's better to recognize your limits than try to trade more size that doesn't result in good trading. So recognize where you're at, recognize your talent, trade accordingly. You don't owe anybody anything. You know, trade according to your nature. That's it.
Well, that's the great thing about micros now, because before micros, you had to trade the minis, right? I mean, there was no other option. If you want to trade the NASDAQ, you had to trade the minis. So when micros came along, it really opened up a whole new playing field, because you could you know, realistically start with $1,000, trade one micro and build an account. You know, obviously very difficult to do that, but I just think a lot of people overlook the power of the micro when it comes to trading. Everybody wants, even my girlfriend, she's like, oh, I don't like the micro because it moves too slow. I'm like, no. You just don't like the micro because the P&L moves too slow, but it also, you know, can work in your favor.
I agree. You know, when the futures, when I was one of the first brokers who actually executed on the Globex when the electronic market was released, and over time the index grew, so the notional value of the contract grew substantially, and it didn't allow the small traders to play with it. One of the competitions that was to the futures market, in my opinion, was mostly in Europe, where people traded spot FX or CFDs, and then you can trade any size you want. So I'm very happy that the CME created the micros for beginner traders, and you can test out methods. Again, you know, you might want to do one ES, which is one full contract, but you can test the method on MES 1, and then go to 3 and go to 5. And if it all works out all the way to 10, just trade one E-mini, but get there gradually. Also, the micros allow you to scale in and scale out. If you trade one ES, you have to be in, you have to be out. If you trade 5 micros, for example, you can gradually exit for those who, you know, or enter. So that's a good thing that happened. I agree with you that, you know, the micros are much better because, and I believe that one day, you know, maybe in 10 years, you know, when the stock market, I don't know, when the E-mini S&Ps could be, I don't know, at 20,000 or 25,000, maybe the CMEs will come with nano contracts because you might have to, right?
Yeah.
Again, the notional value of the contract might grow. So you never know. We'll see what it brings. Like I said, let's not predict, deal with it when it comes, right? Like
Amen.
the market. Amen.
All right, so the NASDAQ, we're back inside this 15-minute range, the opening range. We pulled back here through the 770s, and I was looking here, just kind of an idea for this to get back below this 70 area. If we start to work our way down here, just got to watch that they don't put in a higher low, but basically want to see this like bear flag play out here. We had a little bit of a kind of a double top there. We have not taken out the lows from the overnight still, so we're in this range basically now. NASDAQ's trying to do what it's doing. Watching the ES here, everything's just kind of sitting. Like not like just not getting like a clean move. We kind of expected that without any really big news drivers today. So just looking to see. We have talked about this in the past as well with the 15-minute range. When we break back into that 15-minute range, if we get through the middle of that range and then continue to the other side, normally it means that we would break the bottom of that 15-minute range, which right now kind of just sitting here at the breakout level where we broke out 15-minute range there. So will this area turn into resistance and we move back down? Just kind of watching all the different time frames here, what we got. Staying below that 20,800 area is obviously not good for the bulls. They want it above the 800 level, that pivot point right there. 20,800 pivot point for now. So we'll see what happens if they're going to kind of put in this higher low, but kind of the structure, we got lost, kind of lost this little support there. So now looking to see what happens here. We got more giveaways to come as well. You got some questions in the chat. We got more time with Matt here, just hanging out with us. Big thanks for Matt dropping in today. Matt, what are some of the benefits of somebody checking out Optimus Futures compared to some of the competitors out there? Well, you guys offer a good product, a good customer support, good people.
Right. So thank you for all the compliments here. I said Dingus is a fire. Fantastic. Well, first of all, I have a lot of respect for my competitors. So they're doing a good job. They also have good customer service and everything else. Where I try to distinguish myself is really not just to be a regular broker. We try to keep up with the technology in the industry. We try to keep up with all the things that are going on, from technology to regulation to everything else that may affect traders. We learn. I have phenomenal team, and everybody on my team knows their area better than me. And so they give me a lot of input, and I help them make better decisions. So I work a lot with the staff to service customers better, provide things on time, everything else. Very hard for me sometimes to, people say, why would I choose you over other brokers? Very hard for me to answer that, because I don't know what other brokers do in their operation day to day. I don't know how they service clients. We hear a lot of names, but I would say we receive a lot of customers from other firms, bigger firms, smaller firms, and I'm very happy that they come to us. And I always ask them the same question: what was missing? Or I instruct my staff to say what was missing with the other broker that we can fill in. So we gathered a lot of data over time of what traders look at, how they want to be serviced, and everything else. And that's what we do. We do have a good trading platform, Optimus Flow. It's a downloadable platform. Hopefully next week we are launching our web-based platform and phone. Again, I don't recommend people sit all day and just click on the phone and trade through it. It's a very small screen, but in case something fails, with your internet, you have the ability to execute. Or if you have to run out of the house and it's a must, you can still see your orders working on the phone. So that's where it's good. That's it. I love my company. I love my staff. I love everything that I do every day. It's a lot of pressure. I admit it. It's a lot of pressure. I don't sleep many hours at night, but as long as the customers are happy and their reviews are good, that's what makes me so happy. So.
Good way to look at it. Run your business, keep your customers happy, and your customers will be your biggest support over time.
They're the biggest asset to every trading. Whether customers know it or not, you are the biggest asset. Without you, there's nothing.
I always say that. I say without people watching me on the YouTube, I would just be here alone in a room, just being a weirdo, talking to myself, basically.
Yeah. So listen,
it'd be weird.
The best is when you have customers, that have been with you for years and years and years. That's,
someone in the chat said they've been with Optimus for the last 2 years now, actually.
Yeah, we have customers who've been with us for a very, very long time. Some 5 years, some even go back 10 years. So
do you guys accept worldwide? What's the...
Yeah, there are some countries that we don't accept. That's because of U.S. regulations, of course. But, pretty much anybody from the Western world, can apply. West Europe, East Europe, Canada, Australia, everybody else, right? So, yeah, we do that. Somebody said, everybody calls us Optimus Prime. That's
Optimus Prime
yeah,
Futures.
Roger, it's Optimus Futures, but it's all good, So.
A little update here on the markets again. NASDAQ just kind of chopping around there at that pivot point now, the 800s. And just not looking too sexy here. This 15-minute chart, I think the bears are still trying to go lower. But have to see. I always, to me, Matt, I always think like if the chart's not looking good, it probably means I probably shouldn't be trading. That's normally my thought process. Right now, this chart is just stuck here. It's getting wild. It's getting crazy. Maybe it goes down. Maybe it goes up. But I have no idea. Like you said, it's a game of just surviving. I tell people that too. I'm like, hey, if you want to survive in this market, you got to be able to show up every day and then not blow up and lose everything in one day. Right? I think that's the biggest thing. Like being able to walk away is the hardest part for any trader.
100%. What you said is gold. It's usually people relax over time when they go from beginner to intermediate to advanced. They start to realize they don't have to be in the market all the time. They trade when their method tells them to trade. But the funny thing is the market will always move in such a way that it would make you feel like you're missing out on something. Oh, it's breaking. Oh, it's breaking a channel. Oh, it's going down. Now it's going to do. So traders, every time, goes back to what I said before, every time you catch yourself, being emotional about it, and again, it's consciousness where you say, this is just me saying it, this is nothing to do with my methodology, I should stop. And, and that's how you become more disciplined, right? You got to have the ability to look at the chart. You got to have the ability to follow the prices without them triggering emotions. So I see you.
Market's trying to go down. I'm just letting people know. I took a short right there. Hey, all right. I like it. Matt's dropping dollars. We were just making some money.
Let's see.
Oh, man. You know what's funny, too, is I was thinking just about how much the internet, obviously, like you've worked in the world where the internet wasn't the main form of trading. Like back in the day, you were working for a broker. People had to call you and be like, "Hey, I want to get long. I want to get short." A friend of mine, he was talking about, he's an older guy, and he's like, "Man, I would call my broker in the morning, tell him to buy something, and then my broker would call me at night and tell me how much I lost or how much I made." I'm like, that's crazy. But he was also, he was like, hey, buy $1 million worth of Apple, or buy $1 million, this not Apple, but like IBM, buy $1 million worth of IBM, and it would go up 5 cents. What? That's also funny too, is what do you think, 6-7 years ago, futures did not move the way they do now. There were points where like the NASDAQ would maybe move like 30-50 points in a day. And it was just like, like it just like you would get into a trade and it would just sit there for hours and then finally move, especially the ES. You think COVID was really the driver of just all the volatility, the markets?
Well, I would tell you that during COVID, the volatility, like usually what you see typically is very active markets. So I want to go back to your point first of, markets are being more active. I believe that as the indices go higher in their level, the level of volatility in them will definitely increase. COVID was a period where the night session was just as volatile as the day session. I have never seen anything like it during, like what COVID did, I'd never seen in my career. And I've seen in my career in 2008, 96 or 97 with the NASDAQ collapse, 2008, the volatility of the housing market, the collapse. But COVID brought a whole new level of volatility from what I saw. It was really, really hard to trade through that. Going back to what you were saying in the old days of execution, yeah, you would have a phone and you would have a button to the specific pit that you needed to place the order. And you would call in and you say, I want to buy this or I want to buy that. And then you relied on, I'm praying with you here, a lot of people are becoming a lot more religious when they start trading. So for sure, everybody believes in God when they start trading.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, you depended on the clerk on the floor to call you back with a fill, and then you have to call your customer, and tell him about the fill, and then the floor broker might call you 5 minutes later and say, I'm sorry, you really weren't filled, and then you have to call, a customer, say you were. It was a different time, but I'll tell you, it wasn't a bad time. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of people were not glued to the screen 24/7. When you're glued to the screen 24/7, like you sit there and like I said, you overtrade sometimes. I'm not saying people didn't overtrade at the time, but they didn't have the challenge, right? The live quotes and charts and everything else, it's amazing and it's great technology. But again, you have to be very, very disciplined in terms of how you interact with it, right? So at the time, people held position also a lot longer. Now people hold positions 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes. At the time, people,
Wait a second. People hold positions for 5 minutes? That seems like a very long time, sir. I like those 5-second trades. Come on. 5 seconds, baby. Max leverage. Boom, bam,
Yeah, so
my girlfriend, literally, I was looking at my girlfriend's stats, and her stats was like average trade time 7 seconds. I'm like, nice work, babe. I'm like, maybe try to hold for 15 seconds next time. Double your time there.
Right. Well, what's interesting? Actually, I want to discuss that. Brings me to a good point. So, if you. Again, this is my opinion. You don't have to use it, but here's something you should consider. If you're using a 15-minute chart, right? So I have this ratio, I call it 1-to-3 ratio of time frames. So for example, if you use a 15-minute chart, you shouldn't hold it more than 45 minutes. If you're using a 3-minute chart, you shouldn't hold it more than 9 minutes. And the reason behind it, if you use short time frames or longer time frames, then you have to allow for more noise interacting. So think somebody who's a long-term investor, right? Long-term, holds a stock for years and years and years. The volatility in that thing is incredible, right? But it doesn't matter because he holds it long-term. Potentially, he will come out profitable, potentially. However, if you're trading 3 minutes and there's 9 minutes already, you don't have to wait for your stop loss to hit. You might say, hey, the market is the one that gave me the signal at the time is not there anymore. And then you don't want to be glued to that trade all the time. So you might as well, again, my opinion, get out, look for a new opportunity. So the time that you stay in the market relatively to the time frames that you trade, are important, in my opinion.
I agree, 100%. Across the board. Right now, the NASDAQ, like we said, everybody in the chat freaking out about, guys, we laid down the plan. It wasn't fucking, I told you 5 minutes ago exactly what to look for here. Anybody complaining, you do. This is my favorite, Matt. People always be like, they get upset because they don't be like, Patrick, you never told me to get short. And I'm like, just a recap here. We got the 15-minute range, guys. It's not rocket science. Let's do this one more time here. 15-minute range. Look where we're at. We break to the downside, back into the middle of that 15-minute range. And once we got through the middle of that 15-minute range, look where we're heading to the bottom of that range now. So if you're wondering, but Patrick, you never tell me. We had the VWAP getting denied there for a short opportunity. And, well, it worked out absolutely beautiful. The best part about this stream, guys, is I don't need to hold your hand. I don't need to sit here and tell you exactly when to buy and sell. You just trade the momentum, my friends. And as you can see here, a little break to the downside there. And lock it in here. In the fast track accounts, we are up there, what is that, about 15, 5 times 3 is $50,000. So the NASDAQ ripping back up here. It's Monday. It's choppy. It's just typical Mondays with no news. So everybody in the chat who's freaking out right now, this is a great time to be patient and relax. Just sit back and relax, people. The NASDAQ, there's about what, 70-point push on the 2-minute on a 2-minute candle. Holy crap. And look at that, right back up there into that 15-minute range high again. So market just kind of chopping here. We don't have any big news drivers today. Don't get overexcited, people. There's nothing wrong with just sitting back and relaxing. We got more giveaways to come. We get 1,400 likes here on the stream and we'll pop off some more giveaways. If you guys want to learn more about Optimus Futures, make sure you check out the link up there and hit up the guys over there. If you're trying to get into a real account, maybe take some of your prop firm profits, put it into a real account, grow that, obviously not financial advice, but hey, that's how I would do it. I'm actually looking forward to getting my personal account open up this year with Matt and all that fun stuff here very soon. Matt, what I think the great part about Optimus Futures is you guys can literally offer any platform on the market.
Pretty much, it all boils down to the connection. So we have the rhythmic connection. We use CQG. We use our own connection. White label of our connection is a white label of another product. So there's a lot of, so whatever you have, sometimes people use TradingView and we use that with CQG. Some people use MetaTrader. We use that with CQG. With Optimus Flow, we have our own Optimus Futures. So depending on the markets they trade, what people need, we can, if the platform connects to that data feed, then we connect, and the only thing we care about, the only thing we care about that it's stable for you. The platform is stable and it's working, and everything else. Talking about platforms, I know a lot of people shop around and they test out platforms and everything. Let me tell you my experience with platforms in general. The good traders use, this is again my opinion and my experience. The good traders maybe use 10% of the capacity of the platform. There's this thing that traders go to a platform and they think they have to know every single function in that platform. in order to utilize it and to be better traders. What you really have to focus on is order execution. Know where to place the orders, know where to place your profit, know where to place on the chart your stop. Go to the window that shows you all the open orders before you log out for the day. Go to the open orders, check if everything is open, make sure you cancel everything. That's it. So,
I had that problem with you guys. It wasn't you guys, but it was my fault. What was that? I was probably like 7-8 years ago. I think I emailed you. I was like, I lost my whole entire account, and we looked through the orders, and I had an order that was open, a stop loss order or whatever it was. And overnight I went to bed, I woke up, and I think I lost like $5,000 from the account. And it was, well, obviously wasn't your fault, but I tell people now, I'm like, hey, when you're done trading for the day, hit the cancel all button 1,000,000 times. Just check, make that part of your routine. If you have and it's funny because I feel like people who end up having like a really big profit day, this is when that happens, right? They leave a stop loss. They're like, oh my God, I made $10,000. They leave a stop loss, they walk away, they come back, and then their whole entire account's blown up. So, yeah.
Yes, part of 100%. Sorry that it happened, by the way.
Yeah, I still am trying to get that money back,
But the one thing I would say is that, again, like if you have an order, for example, where you have an OCO, let's say for a take profit or a stop loss, and then you take a profit, don't assume that the bracket order cancels. It's still working. The computer doesn't know what you want to do. It doesn't know read your intention. So having always a window open of your open orders has to be part of your routine. The way you configure your platform, always have open orders. So you see where you stand, and as you finish your day, you make sure that it's flat, there's nothing there. That's it.
Someone keeps asking, I don't know if you can even answer this, but Sierra charts with Teton order routing.
Yeah, so Sierra Charts is an interesting platform. It's a platform that we've been using for a long time. They created their own connection. I know that it's not a very visually appealing platform, in my opinion at least, but my experience that it's very stable, and the users love it, the people who are on it. And Teton is the way that Sierra is configured is that the market data comes from one source and the execution is another source. So Teton is the execution and the market orders is a different name. I forget. Denali. So Denali is the market and provides the market data, and Teton is the execution. And yes, we provide it.
I love this thing too. When people comment stuff like this, they have no idea what they're talking about. But someone said that people should only use FCMs. Being an IB, how do you feel about that?
People are free to do whatever they want. At the end of the day, we receive customers from other IBs, from other FCMs that come to us. If somebody trades directly with a broker that they like, then they like him. There's all kinds of FCMs, right? So there's FCMs or clearing FCMs, non-clearing FCMs. There's FCMs that have to go through clearing FCMs, so they're also, they're registered that way. So there's just a whole variety out there that you can choose from. But look, at the end of the day, even an FCM who has an exchange and everything else, you have a broker that services you. You have a broker, you have a price. That broker might not give you a better price than I would.
See, that would be my argument. Again, I know, obviously you're regulated, you can't say certain things, but the way I look at it is, if I reach out to Optimus Futures, I'm going to talk to a person, and then they're going to help me and point me in the right direction, and you guys are going to work with me. If I say, hey, I'm trading 1,000 contracts a day, you say, okay, we'll work with you. We can find you the best deal. We can help you get to the right place that you need to be. Whereas if I just go to AMP, or if I go to Tradeovate, they're not even going to respond to my support, and it's just like, it's a totally different experience. I think working with an IB, someone like you, it's a more personal connection, and you get better customer service, because the FCMs are so large that they're servicing, I don't even know, hundreds of thousands of customers. Whereas someone like Optimus, you guys are able to work more hands-on and talk to your customers. That's the way I look at it, at least.
We try to make people feel valuable. People have choices today, and I tell my staff all the time, they could have chosen anyone. if they chose us, we have to, I know they have expectations, and I take it very seriously. I love somebody wrote here that he was trading too much, and now he traded only 2M and Q, and he feels more relaxed. Great. Listen, this is what the advice we give our customers whenever we have a chance to talk to them, right? This is something I would say, and if it helped you, hey, fantastic. We as a brokerage also try. You can take a look at our blog, or you can Google Optimus Futures blog, that we really try to write about stuff that would help traders. Practical stuff, not imaginary, of like obscure, like cut your losses short, let your profits run, those obscure things that impress a beginner, but you can't quantify it. We write very practical. I think that's what also separates us. We try to keep up. We have a podcast. We haven't done a podcast in a long time. Again, as the firm grows, I have other responsibilities and duties. Now I'll have somebody who's resuming the podcast, but we also try to the best of our ability to keep on educating the community and keep on helping them. What's interesting? I had a conversation one time. I worked very late, and I was the last one in the firm. Everybody left. The boss always stays late, right? So I stayed, and I got a phone call from a guy, and we started talking. He's looking around, this and that. And I said, how long have you been in the market? And he says, I'm really a beginner. And I said, how long have you been doing that? And he says, 5 years. And it's been a real wake-up call for me. What do people consider themselves along the way? They really classify themselves based not only on experience, but on the results. And that really triggered many years ago. This phone call took many years ago. I could be 10 or 12, I don't remember. Got me thinking. I said, you know what? I got to make a lot more effort educating people. Yeah, it's nice to get the business and people trade. Obviously, that's the only revenue source, for the most part is the trading. But I felt like, okay, let's invest in our customers, right? Not just platform, but education, informing them and everything else. So that's a big part of what we do, is really to write a lot and podcast and YouTube videos to show how to use platforms and things like that. That's kind of our way to reinvest back into our trading community.
The market, everybody freaking out about the market in the chat. These guys, it's something else sometimes. NASDAQ back up there above the 800s. I mean, it's just in this massive range right now. We broke out of this little, I don't know what you call it. It's just, it's doing what it's doing. So everybody who's overly excited, I mean, do we break out through the 850s next, through the 850s, maybe run up there to the 900s? I mean, I'm looking at it like, basically, look at these wicks. After that, 900 up there, 914. I mean, I just don't love this action, but look at that 15-minute candle, massive bullish engulfing candle right now. If it takes out this wick, then it's definitely looking like 900s up there next. So it's a battle, my friends. I wish I had all the answers. I'm also sitting really pretty on the day right now as well, so might be nice just to walk away here, up 15,000 in those Tradeify straight to funded accounts. And then, yeah, look at that 15-minute candle, just straight back up there. Got 2 minutes for that 15-minute candle to close, and then that wick right there, that wick from earlier, 55 being the high. Take out that wick there, and then it's like maybe we go 900 there next. I mean, that's the next level there. So just trying to be patient, looking for something that really stands out. I would love to see kind of we break through that high there and then build out another little bull flag here on the smaller time frames. 2 minute chart just looking like this would be, for me, I'm like, okay, this is what I see happening. Maybe we break out through here, but then we pull back and then we want to go. So like, I can't get long right here. I just can't do it. The market moves in waves. And well, if you look here, would be the wave. Or maybe we go a little higher, but there's a wave coming. Sticking to the process, sticking to the plan, just like Matt has been focused on. If you had to basically force a trader to follow 3 rules. 3 rules they had to do every day as a trader, trading futures. What would be those 3 rules?
Rule number 1, keep your desk clean. No distractions, keep it clean. You, the keyboard, the mouse, that's it. Clean room. Like this desk that I'm sitting on, or the beautiful desk you're sitting on.
I got Lambo keys and stuff over here, though. Is that too much?
It's clean. It's good. Second thing is, do something that requires discipline outside of trading. Something where maybe you need to read 3 hours a day or 1 hour a day. Have some sort of a habit of discipline outside of trading. And the third thing is journal your trades. Like I said, journal your trades. Those are the 3 things. I mean, there's a lot of things out there. It's very hard. In the heat of the moment, I'm trying to, come up with those things. But I think those things are important because, remember, guys, your discipline starts before trading. If you were not disciplined as an individual in any field before, trading is not where you will become disciplined, right? If you, like somebody wrote here, Joseph wrote, hey, did jiu-jitsu. Fantastic. That requires discipline. You know what? Here's something I would tell you, okay? And again, because I'm a licensed broker, I have to keep it, to say this is my opinion.
I can't tell you everything.
But I would rather give money to somebody who was in the military than a quantitative trader. If somebody said, Matt, you have to give your money to anyone out there, potentially teach him how to trade and, hopefully turn into, I would give it to somebody from the Army because those people are so disciplined, black and white. This is the operation. This is what I got to do. No deviation. And that's what really, really counts, the discipline, right? Now, quantitative guys are fantastic, right? They can give me observations of the market and tell me, all kinds of, things and impress me with what the market does and statistics. But if the element of discipline is not there, it's not there. If anybody remembers, I know a lot of young people here, but if you guys want to really learn a story about traders, there was a company called Long-Term Capital Management. It consisted of like PhDs, Price Nobel guys, people who taught lectures in university, and they blew up the whole fund. I think the country of Italy lost like $50 billion with them or something like crazy like that. So here's an example of somebody who was so smart, right? Like those academics and everything else, but they over-leveraged, and they said that for disaster to happen in their program, it would happen. There's a chance of 1 to 50 million. Well, it happened after 5 months. So it's just the learning lessons, how important discipline and leverage is. If they weren't as leveraged, maybe they would have went through a drawdown. Maybe they would have more capital. So, that's what I want to say. And another thing, not related, choose a platform that you feel good with the visual display. Like the visual display matters. The way you interpret prices and the way you see it, this is what you should look for. Build with your own trading platform something that gives you a nice visual display. Don't overwhelm yourself. Sometimes, like, some charts that I saw helping people technically, it's like I gave a 6-year-old some crayon and he just went nuts on it, And I was like, how do you read through all this? So simplicity is also key. It's very important. Don't try to impress yourself. Because, I've seen situations in the market where people came in and they were, I would say, pretty good traders. And they were like, you know what? If I had 2 more filters, 2 more RSI, moving average, MACD, I think I'll do better.
Just 2 more. That's all I needed, man. If I just had 2 more.
Right, that's it.
If I had the RSI, I would have made $1 million on that trade.
Right. And I tell them, no, listen, if something proved to be working for you, don't try and ruin it, If a cake tastes good, don't add ketchup on top of it, right?
Ooh.
If it's good, it's good.
Might have to try that. A little ketchup on my cake. All right, so the NASDAQ just doing what it's doing here. It's like just grinding higher. You can see, if you look, a little bit smaller time frame, we had kind of a little bull flag set up here off of that 21, up there through the VWAP, another little flag set up here And there's that breakout now through this little high. So we took out that high. And so your next kind of logical place to move to would be up here into the 900s. The problem is, do we dip back into this 40, 50 area one more time before trying to get that push? We got another giveaway here for the take profit accounts. Like right now, it's take profits 50% off. You know, use the code number, the best code ever out there. But we got another winner here, and the winner is Jamie Grant from Sydney, Australia. Jamie Grant, congratulations, 150K account. We've also got another local, Claudine Noel. I think that's a woman. I might be wrong, but I think it's a woman. The women are taking down the winning today, winning. So Claudine Noel, we'll get your email. We set you up, and yeah, all that fun stuff. I got another question here for you, Matt. Actually, through my assistant. My assistant just sent a message. He says, Matt,
okay,
what are the other trade behavior you noticed from your data? Can you share, please? I know he answered it. Never mind.
I'm sorry.
I guess what do you think is the worst trading behavior that leads to destruction of people's accounts?
It's what I said before. It's actually two things. One is over leverage. One thing, and the other thing is this emotional trading, spontaneous trading. You know, where
it's very easy to, like you said, to look at the chart, see a little setup, and be like, oh, I gotta take that. It sucks you into it. The market is built to basically make you trade.
It's exactly right. So one thing I want to say is that no, you're right. But here's something I want to say that kind of get it out of people's mind. There's some sort of a belief system among amateurs specifically and beginner traders. There's a such thing as intuition. That there's people out there that just use their intuition and they know. Guys, there's no such thing. Everybody struggles with the same thing every single day. You know, whether you work in institutions or whether you work anywhere else, you know, nobody gets up in the morning and can say, you know, I have intuition about this. If you acted on intuition and you actually ended up making money, that's the worst thing, because in my opinion, the next trade, you will lose all of it. So no intuition, you know? And I think this is what, I hope I'm answering the question here, saying that advanced traders, you know, don't have that. They don't rely on intuition. They hold themselves and they say, and also they don't do this, right? Here's what a lot of people also do. They're waiting for their setup, and then they say, oh, this setup will happen anyway. No, let it happen, right? Let it happen, and then
I have actually suffered from that. Like, I see a bull flag setting up, and then instead of like getting confirmation of a breakout, I just enter just because I think like, oh, it's, you know, like it's gonna happen. Like, I see it forming. I'm gonna enter early because you know I obviously know it's gonna be a bull flag, and then well, it doesn't work out and it reverses, and I'm done.
So, you know, it's interesting that you said that, and I consider you to be very advanced, and a lot of the things that I know, you know as well. And sometimes even, you know, advanced traders fall into this trap of, you know, well, it's going to happen anyway, might as well enter early. And I say, no, don't. Again, this is one of those behaviors where consciousness helps and says, okay, you're not trading the markets, you're trading your feelings. You're being impulsive. Right, so that's really good. By the way, thank you, Rita. We have a customer who's actually with us. She said she's trading on Rhythmic and our traders. So good for you, and we hope we're giving you good service.
So here, filming my gains. Just got to film my gains for the internet. What I don't know if you can even say it, but like, what's the most money someone's ever made in one day? You think? Like, have you had someone who made $1 million in one day?
No.
Never?
No.
Not ever in your entire history of being a broker.
I've never seen it. They could have. I don't follow every single account.
Well, yeah, obviously, but like for your customers, you've never.
But I've seen a trade. I remember there was one day.
I think I remember you telling me about some guys trading palladium at one point.
Yeah, there was a guy. That's right. It was palladium. It was a 90,000. Like, it was during COVID.
Yeah.
It was during COVID, and I don't remember.
He was long. I think he was long, and it just kept going higher and higher and higher.
I think he was short. I
He
think
was short?
It was actually short. I mean, you know what's interesting? So when the stock market goes down bad, like during COVID or 08 or everything, what I've seen happen, and I didn't make a study on it, but big institutions liquidate everything. You know, I know there's this thing where they say, well, gold is a hedge and this and that. I've actually seen quite the opposite. I've seen funds just go into panic mode like everybody else. Now, you know what's interesting? Here's something that I say. There's no such thing as intelligent mistakes, meaning the mistakes that you do, some professionals also do that might be working for some institutions on Wall Street, right? They might fall into the same trap of losing money, trying to make it back, and everything else. So, you know, they might have been caught in that situation. But yeah, I've seen somebody do. It was over a one lot. It was actually a trader who just did it over. I think there was a bunch of customers who had that, but there was over a one lot. I would never go for trades like that. That's an anomaly. It's a statistical, you know, statistically, it's really hard.
Did you have any issues when oil went below zero?
Not us specifically.
Yeah.
I don't remember us having any, but I remember the industry was in an uproar when it happened. Nobody.
I was trading that day, and everybody was just like, "Oh my god!" Though it's like it's broken. Like it's just the futures are gonna just explode.
I felt bad for traders who went long when it was nearing zero. From what I hear, they said, "Well, it can't go below zero," and well,
it did.
It
went below
It took
zero.
everybody
That's
out,
crazy.
and it was not a good day for the industry. You know, I hope that your customers here didn't.
No, they've all just started trading a month ago. Don't worry. And earlier you said a lot of my younger people in the crowd, but you know what's funny? Actually, I looked at the demographic, and most of my followers are 30 to 40 now. That's like the largest subset, or the largest percentage of followers are literally between 30 and 40. I guess I'm growing up. I used to be in my 20s, and people watch me now. Maybe people are growing up with me. That could also be happening. People could I had a guy, he's like, I've been watching your videos for 8 years. And I'm like, well, damn, like we've been friends for 8 years now, I guess. So little recap here where we're at. Again, like we said, guess what? What happened in the NASDAQ? Don't tell me I didn't tell you so. Don't tell me I didn't tell you so. Here's that pullback, the wave. So it's just one of those days, my friends. Monday, we are just range bound. The market is going nowhere quick, and it's just part of it. You know, I think a lot of people, Matt, they think that every day is going to be a good day to make money, right? Like every day, it's like, oh, today. But if you actually look at the stats on the days where the market ranges and the days where the market chops around, you have a lot more range days and a lot more consolidation days in the market than you do breakout and follow through days.
You know, one thing that kind of, by the way, the approach that I have is, I'm 53, by the way. You know, everybody through here, their age, 32, 21,
Yeah, 65,
60,
89. Look at that. We got an
65.
89-year-old here.
Listen, God bless. Wish you many years. You know, one thing that I try to do is always keep learning. Always. Like, I'm an avid reader, and I love reading. So one of the books that I read recently was Charlie Munger. And there was some sort of a line that really, really caught me a little bit kind of surprised. He said the 10% of his decision-making led him to make billions. And I'm thinking, what about the rest of the 90%? Where did that lead you? And then it made me think about traders, right? Traders have to realize that there could be a small percentage of decisions that could lead potentially to good results, while majority of their results are not that great. And this is, I think, the hardest part for them to understand. You know, there's a lot of myth out there. Like, sometimes I read, you know, forums or, you know, things, I end up there. And I see sometimes people say, like, yeah, if I open with $5,000, I'm not greedy. I just want to make $200 a day.
That is my favorite. That is my favorite.
And that is the epitome of greed. This is not greed. This is like the king of greed when you say something like that, because you just determined that the market owes you $200 daily, and you start believing this myth that you will get $200 a day. And then I say, okay, $200 a day, fine, $5,000 account, $200 a day, 22 trading days, 22 by 200, 2,400. That means that every month you'll be at 50%, right? I'll be like, you're going to be the best hedge fund manager out there. Why even bother with retail? Just
Man,
go.
if I just make $100, I'd be happy with $100 a day. That's all I need.
Yeah, you can't come to the market and say, this is what I want. Statistically, what will happen over time, if you have 100 trades, you can say, on average, this is what I'm making out of statistical observation of what you're doing. But don't come to the market and determine, because if you do that, that will be the root of really bad behavior. Because when you don't meet those goals and you're losing, you're not going to cut your losses short. You cannot come any day with any expectations of what you're going to make. You're going to make what the market gives you or doesn't give you.
That also is an interesting topic as well, because people always will ask me like, well, what's your target? You know, how much money do you want to make? And I'm like, well, I would love to make, $10,000 every day, but there's days where I just know I'm not going to hit that. And then there's days where it's easy to make 10,000. And I know it's funny to say easy, but like there's those days where you're going to get that follow through and the market just goes higher and higher and higher and higher. And you get in, you put your stop loss and you let the trade work out. Right now is a perfect example of, look, we have a huge rip up. We pull right back. We're sitting at this pivot point. The whole entire market is just sitting pretty much at this range in this area. So that just tells me as a trader, if I trade momentum, it's like, hey, there's nothing wrong with just not taking any more trades today, because I know that there are always more trades to come. And I actually wrote about that in my new book. I got to get you a copy of this book, Matt. You'll read it in like 5 minutes because you're a book reader, but But no, as a surfer, I don't know if you surfed much. You look like you might have big wave surfer at some point, but as a surfer, when you paddle out and you miss a wave, let's say the wave, you don't catch it. You don't get upset. You don't get mad. You just turn around and you paddle back out because there's another wave coming, right? It's like, okay, I missed that wave, but let me get back in position for the next wave. And that's the same thing with trading. If I miss a setup, I know that at a certain point, if I look at the charts, I'm like, hey, all right, we had this huge candle. We went straight up. Now what is magically going to happen next? I don't know. What could possibly happen? There's probably a really, really good chance that we pull back, we build some type of formation, some type of structure, and then I wait for that next setup. I get people on the live stream all the time that get upset with me. They're like, Patrick, you had 2 losers in a row. And I'm like, well, I also had 10 winners in a row. Like no matter what your win-loss ratio, unless you're doing 100%, which nobody's doing, if you're 70, if you're 60% win-loss ratio, you're going to have losing trades. The goal here is just obviously to make sure that your losing trades are, half the size of your winning trades. I've known some traders, Matt, that they have like a 30%, a 20% win-loss ratio, and they can make millions of dollars because they don't care when they lose. All they care about is when they win big, because they get 300, 400, 500 points when their setups present themselves. And then when they have their losers, they take their 20-point loss and they just sit back and, okay, wait for the next setup. And that's just, like you said, that's just journaling. That's also just experience, seeing the charts move.
I love the analogy you made with surfing and waves. It just goes to show that, you have to, in the bigger picture with this example is there are circumstances that are outside of your control in the marketplace. You don't control them, just like you don't control the waves, you work with the waves. A race car driver that got hit really hard by some colleague and the car is just spinning, has to get back into control and drive again. So there's a lot of things that will happen that are outside of your control. If a lot of things happen that day and mentally it's affecting you, walk away. Walking away from your screen and closing it is also a position, right? Being long is a position, being short is a position, and doing nothing is really also a position. If the volatility, for example, that you trade that day doesn't fit your nature, it doesn't fit your method, maybe your method fits more quiet markets, or it could be the opposite. Your method might fit more, volatile markets. Everybody's got a certain nature and method that they like. But the main thing is, remember that there are circumstances that are outside of you. And Patrick, you're 100% right. Good traders wait for the right opportunity. This is part of the discipline. Like, we throw a lot this word discipline, but really it manifests itself in other things like patience. Patience. Just be patient for those things to happen, right? Your goal is not to trade. Your goal is to make money in the marketplace. If you really define wait, my goal is to make money. My goal is not to force every trade or anything like that. And like I said, good trading is a byproduct of everything else that you're doing. So focus on that, right? Don't think about the money. If you think about the money, that's a psychological.
Thinking about the money, I always know that it's time to take profit when I want to take a screenshot. Right? If I'm in a trade and I'm up big and I'm like, oh, look at me, and I start filming it. And then all of a sudden it's starts coming back down. I'm like, oh shit. I just that, that's when it's time. And that's the hardest part too, is I think, for me, a lot of times I get into a trade, it goes up, it works in my favor, but then I get greedy because then I'm like, well, for example, if I'm looking at this chart right here and I'm like, okay, let's say I got long, I'm long here at the 20s, it goes to the 880s. And then I'm like, well, it's got to go through 900. It's got to go. And then all of a sudden it pulls all the way back down here and then stops me out. And then it's game over. So that is the worst part of being that's just the greed, the human.
It's it's interesting. So here's how you have to think about this. Okay. I don't want to talk about the markets for a minute. I want to just talk about something else. Here's what you're actually doing in the marketplace, okay? You're coming as an individual trying to read the behavior of a group. So, go to a football stadium and try to predict the behavior of everybody together. This is the challenge, really. How are the masses, you as an individual, trying to predict the masses on how they will behave? This is where it starts. And it's a very hard thing to do because you're trading, you are an individual trying to predict what everybody else in the group is doing. So what are your odds of guessing? They're not that high. And this is why, and then you have to say, okay, well, how do I go about it? What are the things that I do control in order to not predict, but try and understand the group behavior? And what you realize along the way that you can predict, you just have to go with what they do and develop a method that goes in line with the markets. That's why they say you'll never get the top, you'll never get the bottom, you'll get what's in between. You're just trying to guess the behavior that's in between. And I think if you remember that, it would help you a lot. Somebody just asked, by the way, if I just jump into it for a second, they say, why are so many platforms are written to Windows? That's the industry, really. We will have our own web-based that we're going to bring probably sometime. I hope even this week. I really do. So if you're on our email list or announcements or you watch our site, Optimus Futures, you should see it coming, but we're going to take care of all the Mac users. So just hang in there and it will happen.
That is some awesome news. People keep asking about Optimus and different platforms. Like I said, if you can use NinjaTrader, right? No, you can't. NinjaTrader belongs to NinjaTrader. They're our competitor. They're a good competitor. Yeah.
If somebody wants NinjaTrader, but we do service a lot of customers who use TradingView. TradingView is really, really big for us, and so a lot of customers trade that with us.
All right. If you guys have more questions, Matt is on here for a few more minutes. He can answer in the chat any questions about Optimus Futures. And I'm going to go use the bathroom for a second. And I will be back on later on today for Power Hour just to shoot the shit with you guys for a little bit at 3 o'clock. So if you're still watching then, I'll be here. But right now, look at the NASDAQ. This right here, back into the middle of this range. This is... If I could take a picture and put it on the wall of what I don't want to trade, this would be it, my friends. And I know people in the chat are just like, they want to be just trade. And I guarantee it ain't going to end well for you. So the best thing right now to do is just sit back, wait for something to either happen or just walk away. We're going into the 11 o'clock hour. And for me, I'm looking at my P&L and I'm like, hey, I'm green. I took some good trades, took some good setups. And if I miss out on the next move, it is what it is. Because tomorrow, and then there's Wednesday, and then there's Thursday, and then there's Friday, and then there's next Monday. I just keep on going. So I'll leave this for Matt for a minute while I use the restroom. And if you guys have any questions. Oh, also, I think Matt can probably answer it. But Matt, is there anybody out there that knows exactly what the market's going to do? Are there any gurus that you've ever met that know exactly where the market's going to go at all times? Can you just like debunk this whole argument?
Yeah, there are no such things. There's always a myth that there's some institutional guy with quantum capabilities in his computer that can tell, but it doesn't exist. So one question that somebody asked here, they said, do you guys at the brokerage firm love winning traders or losing traders? There's nothing to be gained by a losing trader. I know it's a very tough business, but we try to do everything we can to make sure that, we don't pressure people. We give them the support they want. There's nothing to be gained by a losing trader. It happens, obviously. A lot of people lose money in this business. It's leverage. There's people who might lose in the beginning, and not go back to it, lose, and then try again, and hopefully become better at what they do. But, we actually, I hope that, good things happen. So Optimus newsletter, that is correct. We're not a prop firm. We're a licensed brokerage. People trade real funds with us. What other questions do we have to sign up? Newsletter. Find our blog. Go to Optimus Futures blog. And then, there should be a pop-up for your email. And then every time we send it out, we'll go, you'll receive it. But if you click on Optimus Futures blog, you will see all the older posts that we had, and you can do that. Okay, commissions, they're on our site. Their pricing is on the site. Do I know Sambo Matt? I don't know Sambo Matt, but I love Jiu-Jitsu and I love Sambo. I know both sports really well.
I have a good question for you. So, there's people out there that claim that the reason they don't trade real accounts is because that they don't want their broker to copy their trades. As a licensed broker, are you allowed to copy customer trades?
I'll be honest with you. Nobody, people who ask that are usually paper traders who never traded in their life, and they have some sort of a paper trading account, that they're just afraid to. Guys, we don't have time for this. If you have a
wait, hold on a second. So you're a licensed, regulated broker, and you don't have time to just copy all your profitable, amazing traders every day and just do exactly what they're doing?
I have zero desire. My goal is really to help traders. I don't look at individual behavior, and if they're good at what they do. Here's the one thing that, let's say that somebody, you were able to imitate somebody else's trades. You think you would be successful? I guarantee you that you would not, unless it's your own method. If somebody sat beside you as because he manages those trades, his profit at a certain way, he targets a certain way, his stop losses are at a certain place, and he might go through the same thing again and again and again. And it doesn't mean that, and if you lost 5 times, probably by the 6th time, you'll stop following him. So this is a hypothetical scenario. Again, we don't have time to look at individual behavior. We want to service you. We have thousands of customers, and I wish you nothing but sincerely, but the best of luck so you can become successful, right? So we will do everything we can to help you.
I like it. Somebody was asking, what's the minimum needed for Optimus Futures account?
500 for micros and 2,000 for minis.
It's good numbers. All right. Chat, if you got any more questions, we got a few more minutes here. This guy's a busy man. His phone has been ringing off the hook. People have been calling this guy.
Thank God. So
do you think the invention of the internet and just the whole industry of I guess, influencing traders and people out there? Do you think it's good for the industry? Or you think it's been bad? Like, how do you look at it? Because you've obviously come through the ranks. You've seen the different people selling DVDs and courses and stuff over the years. What's your overall take of just the educational resources out there today compared to 20 years ago?
I think, so this is not only in trading, this is in everything. You really have to choose your mentors and source of inspiration very, very carefully, because, for example, you trade, you give people practical advice, in my opinion. You give them practical. This is what it is. There's some people out there, unfortunately, they don't give them practical advice. They keep on feeding them what they want to hear, right? So they don't talk about statistical probability. They don't talk about the fact that majority of the trades will be losing. Like, they always focus on this. And this is what people are drawn to. It's like almost like if all the gurus out there, were capable of giving practical information, fantastic. So I just think that you have to be extremely careful of the advice that you take. You have to filter it, make sure that the person behind it is sincere, number one, experienced, and you get practical advice. So the internet obviously brought a lot of good things, to answer your question. Amazing things, more knowledge, people participating with one another, talking to one another. But it also, but the internet is not a filtering mechanism. Anybody can write or say anything. What you do with that information, that's a little bit different. So
agreed. Looking at the NASDAQ here again, just a little update, 15-minute chart. We're still very much in that opening range. This is like a no trade zone for me. There's no reason to trade in the middle of a range. So seeing this, it's like, okay, maybe we could pop up, maybe we push back up, maybe we drop. It's a coin flip at this point. It's a 50-50. There's no momentum here, right? There's nothing to tell me like, hey, I gotta enter this trade. And that's my big resolution of 2025 is just to be patient, wait for that momentum, wait for those flags, wait for the breakouts, and then take the trade and then look for the next opportunity. Right now looking at this, I'm like, hey, I don't know. I honestly just don't know what I think is going to happen next. And with that in mind, it also tells me like maybe I should stay out of the trade, right? Maybe it's a good idea to stay out of the trade. Do you, Matt, do you think, I don't know, do you think the industry itself, retail customers are growing, or do you think it's kind of plateauing, or do you see an up and down in growth in terms of retail customers?
I see that, people who used to have traditional markets like stocks are a lot of people adding futures. So I think it's, again, because of what you mentioned, the micros, I think, are bringing in more people. They're, in my opinion, they feel comfortable with the leverage. So yes, in my opinion, the industry is growing. I think it's also going to grow a lot overseas, because I think people coming from asset classes that we don't have here, such as in Europe, they come from CFDs or spot FX. I see a lot of people are moving to trade more on the CME, on the regulated market. So basically, they don't trade against, a market maker, who is their broker, but their trades are actually going to the exchange. So I think futures will grow. We've seen those assets are being added to just about every single platform out there, major brokerages. So I've seen growth, and thank God, listen, it's a growing industry. So,
well, there it is. If people want to learn more, check out optimusfutures.com. And how do you want to sign off here? Give us a little piece, one last truth.
Well, the one thing I would tell you is this, that I'd love to earn your business, would love to service you, would love to make sure that you are positioned technologically in the right place, give you the right pricing for your trading, and hopefully the last thing I would say is this. I look for relationships of 10 years. I want you to be with Optimus for 10 years. That's my wish. I know this is not always the case. Again, you have to trade your risk capital. If you ran out of risk capital, don't trade anything but in futures but risk capital. But As long as you have it, I hope you'll be with us. We also have a community site. One last thing I would say, it's community.optimusfutures.com. And if you post any questions there about anything, technology, commissions, operations, your operations. I mean, as a trader, you need some advice, be more than happy to do that. And the link to Optimus is www.optimusfutures.com. As Patrick,
it's right there. It's right there in the chat sometimes. Yeah. Undefeated. What's the link to Optimus Futures? It's right there,
I
sir.
know, I just saw it.
Right there.
It is what it is.
Hey, big thank you to Matt coming on today.
Thank you.
I know you got a lot of stuff going on and running your business, but it's been fun. I'm sure we'll have you back here for more talks in the future. And everybody in the chat right now who's freaking out about what trade to take next, well, maybe it's a good time to go outside and fucking touch the grass, people. Relax a little bit, if you're sitting here in the chat going, Patrick, maybe you just need to take a little breather. Go buy the book, read the book or something. Spend a little bit of time, like right here. First and foremost, the 10% are educated. And I don't just mean they have a fancy degree or Wall Street pedigree. No, I'm talking about a deep, practical understanding of the markets and how they work, a grasp of the fundamentals, the technicals, and the psychology that drives price action. What's funny about that little line right there, and I just literally opened that up and saw it, is that goes to play with what Matt said, right? It's experience. It's time in front of the charts. The longer you spend in front of the charts, the more experience, the more knowledge that you gain. And that's just part of it. 8 years of trading. I took a $600,000 payout last year from Apex because of just 8 years of just not giving up, honestly. And that is funny because I've also seen a lot of people give up. I've seen a lot of people quit along the way. I've had a lot of friends who start trading and they end up giving up because they end up just blowing up. And you can't just keep blowing up and blowing up and blowing up and blowing up because mentally it'll just absolutely destroy you. And it ain't fun. It ain't fun, my friends. So there it is. We will be back here for Power Hour at 3 o'clock p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern. We got some more Take Profit accounts to give away. Right now, Take Profit Trader is 50% off. They removed the daily loss limit as well. So I know a lot of traders were complaining about the hard breach because before it was if you hit the max loss on the day, you would then lose the account, where now you no longer lose the account if you hit the max loss. So big stuff going on. Take Profit Trader, instant payouts, and all kinds of good stuff over there if you want to learn more. Also, the rumor on the street right now is that Apex Trade of 8 is back up. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to walk away. Like I said, sitting here pretty. I got my Tradeify accounts right now that are sitting. I'm at about 15,000, trying to get these to a payout day 2 and trying to kind of hit for that $3,000 goal. And then some Take Profit accounts here, also getting those up to date as well. So we're back tonight, well, later today at 3 o'clock for that. And then yeah, I got a lot to do today, and I will see you guys later on for Power Hour. And then tomorrow, back again. Tomorrow definitely going to be a lot more focused on the trades. No guests tomorrow, so it'll just be me. If you don't like me, you might not want to watch, but if you do like me, you might want to be back for that. So there it is. Big thanks for everybody tuning in, watching, having fun, and giving some good questions to Matt. You guys really don't understand how much knowledge, experience that guy has. So for us to have him on the stream here, it's a great honor and pleasure. The guy has been around. He's seen everything. And like you said, there is no shortcut to greatness. There is no shortcut to getting rich. Most people that think they're going to get rich end up losing everything, and they end up quitting. So forget about getting rich and just focus on the process, my friends. Focus on taking the right trades when they present themselves, and then walking away when the market's giving you this type of crap. So there it is. Peace to the Middle East. Oh, Lord. Good.
It was good.
Good. The people loved you. They said they want you back already. I said, damn, he hasn't even left yet. Replacing me.
No.
I'm replacing me.
Listen, the place is sick.
It's sick, huh?
I love it. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's
Justin keeps hitting us. What should we tell them?
I'll do it. Yeah, no, we'll print it out. It's good to have you on there.
They were probably closing up.
Yeah, it looked like the whole.
Everyone was, they were like, awesome. Everyone in the chat was
Okay, that's cool. I couldn't tell because we had to we turned like a block ahead of that. The shutdown area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was. So this might be the green market because.
Right.
Yeah.
It
That
was
was
really
probably-
nice meeting
Hey,
you.
as well. Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Hello.
thanks.